Hi there. I just wanted to go over some juicing stuff. I started juicing a couple weeks ago, and I wanted to go over some of the things that I do when I juice. So, I'm going to give you the reality of juicing. A lot of guys will tell you, clean up's a snap, it's so easy, you can do it all the time. The fact is, juicing takes time. It takes a lot of time. If you're anything like me, normally I don't have 15 minutes a day, let alone the time to prep, pounds and pounds of vegetables and fruits and juice them and all that stuff. So I think the most important thing, if you're going to start juicing, try to get everybody in the house involved. I juice, so I also got my wife juicing, and I've got my 2 kids juicing. Now, when you're feeding juice to kids, you have to be really careful. You want to keep in mind that a little goes a really long way. And you want to stay away from seriously sugary stuff. So I wouldn't juice for my daughters. One of my daughters is diabetic, and I wouldn't juice for my daughters stuff like watermelon, oranges, apples, stuff, pineapple and stuff like that. My wife loves that, especially in the morning. But for me, I prefer vegetable juices. And that's kind of what I try to feed my kids too, because in everybody's fast-paced lifestyle right now, the fact is we do not, and most people do not get 5 servings of vegetables a day. It just doesn't happen. It's ridiculous. So before I even get started in all that, I'm going to show you this juicer. There's basically 2 types of juicers. A gear juicer, which takes a gear and mushes it up, or 2 gears and mushes up the juice and then spits it through a smaller hole that sucks all the juice out of the pulp, and the juice falls and the pulp goes another way. Or you have one of these. That's called the masticating juicer, those gear-driven ones. Or you have one of these. This is centrifugal juicer. So this one, what happens is this thing here spins at a really, really high RPM. When you put the juice in the top here, or the vegetables in the top here, it comes down, it cuts it, there's little blades on the bottom of this, it cuts it, and then the pulp moves up the side of this, and there's very small holes in this, and the juice is sucked out through the holes, and the pulp gets ejected into this bucket. Of the 2, masticating and this high-speed one, I like the masticating. This high-speed one, juice only lasts a couple hours because it's so fast in there that it puts oxygen in the juice, and oxygen and vegetables just really don't mix. So the juice goes bad super quick. But there are some benefits to this kind of juicer. Number 1 is prep time goes down enormously. Okay, so you see the size of this hole here. I mean, it's huge. You can put a whole beet in that hole, no problem, and it just, and then push it down. It's a lot better for prep time. You have to cut less, and it's faster too. These high-speed ones, you can blast through 5 pounds of vegetables just in a snap of a finger. It's really quick. So this juicer was my first juicer, and I'm actually going to give this away. So May 1st, I'm going to give this away. I'm going to draw names from everybody who subscribes to my channel. So make sure you subscribe. And then I'll draw names. I'll do a little video of me doing the names up and drawing them. And I'll ship this anywhere in kind of North America, United States, Canada, Northwest Territories, Alaska type thing. And it'll be no cost to you, so that you'll be able to get this. This is about $120 or $130, I think I paid for that. So it's a great value. Make sure you subscribe to my channel. This is the juicer I use now. It's called a masticating juicer, and it's got this. This is a vertical masticating juicer, and it's got this ball down here, and that sits inside this cup, and it sits fairly close to the side. And as you put the vegetables in the top, it chops the vegetables off. Okay, and then it moves it down the sides, and it just gets smaller and smaller space down at the bottom. The pulp comes out the bottom, out of a little hole right there, and the juice gets pushed out the sides. Now this little bucket, this orange bucket, has little rubber things on the side of it to push the pulp back in through there. So this is a great juicer. I paid $200 for it, and it works just awesome. I love it. And for some reason I can't get it together. There we go. So I love this juicer. It's slower than this juicer, but you get more vitamins and minerals, more juice from your vegetables, because this moves about 80 RPM, this moves about 6,000 RPM. And one of the biggest benefits is I can juice at night and it will last for up to 72 hours. So I juice once every second day. Now, that probably doesn't sound like a big deal to most people, but I drink juice 4 times a day. So when I had this juicer, I had to make juice 4 times a day. And I had to clean the juicer up 4 times a day. And I had to clean the counters up 4 times a day. With this one, as soon as my kids go to bed, I quickly juice all my juice, and within an hour, I'm downstairs in bed with my wife, and, you know, everything's great. And I only have to clean it once every 2 days. So it saves me an enormous amount of time. So, some of the best things to do with juicing. I'm going to give you a recipe that I love to juice. And it's a great starter recipe. And when you first start juicing, I'd suggest starting with small amounts. And try and figure out what you like. Because juicing the wrong thing is better than not juicing at all. So, in my opinion, there is no real wrong way to juice. There's better ways to juice and less efficient ways to juice, but there's no wrong way to juice. I see a lot of these shows on the internet that say this is wrong, that's wrong. Well, trust me, if you're not juicing, you're not getting that nutrient at all. So if you juice, you're getting better nutrients. You want to stay away from the super sugary stuff, but that's just common sense. I mean, you wouldn't sit down and eat a bucket of sugar every day. So, in my opinion, if you're going to juice, try to juice stuff that's less sugary. But also keep in mind that if you do stuff that doesn't have any sugar, like straight greens and stuff that are kind of bitter, like cilantro and kale and celery and stuff, it's not going to taste very good. If it doesn't taste very good, you're setting yourself up for failure. So make sure you juice something that tastes good enough that you're going to enjoy. Now, there's benefits to each individual fruit and vegetable, and most of them have a single thing in common, which is antioxidants. It seems like just about every fruit and vegetable you have has good antioxidants, and antioxidants lead to good health. So there are extended benefits, like certain fruit juices or vegetable juices more particularly will do certain things. Like if you have stomach problems, cabbage is a wonderful thing, especially for ulcers. So my wife had heartburn. So what we did was we started juicing quite a bit of cabbage, and it certainly helped. So this is my favorite recipe. I had a bunch of carrots, okay, some celery, some kale, some parsley, sweet potatoes, and cabbage. Oh, and some peas. And I add that in the proportion where it's mostly cabbage, with next in line would be sweet potato. There's mostly that behind cabbage. And then carrots, quite a few of them, quite a few of celery, and then some kale and some parsley and some peas. And you can just kind of do it to your own taste, right? So I don't do one of these, do 2 of these, do this, do that, because everybody's taste is different. So if you're going to juice, make sure you juice to what you like. So, but with that recipe, you're going to really enjoy that juice, I think. Just don't smell it. You know, that's the one thing that most people do, is they smell the juice first. When you first start juicing, the smell is something to get used to. I enjoy it now, but when I first started juicing, I really didn't like the smell of it. So if the first thing you do is smell it and it doesn't smell good, you take away half of the reason you consume something. Being a chef, I know that there's really 3 parts to enjoying a meal. And one is the scent, the smell of it. Number 2 is the appearance of it. And number 3 is the taste of it. So if you smell it and you don't like it, and I'll guarantee you that when you juice this, it's going to be kind of a browny green color, so it doesn't look very good. So you've taken away 2 of those things, and then you go to taste it, and even if it tastes good, you've already kind of set yourself up to not like it because you've smelled it and you've looked at it, right? So don't smell it, just take a sip and see how you do. If you like the taste, then your body can get trained to look at it and go, gee, yeah, that ugly brown color is actually a good thing, and it tastes good. So like I say, first thing you do is taste the juice. Make sure I strain out a majority of the pulp. Regardless of what machine you get, you still do get some pulp in there and some fines and stuff like that. You can leave it in, it's fiber, it helps slow the absorption of the nutritional values. I like to take it out because I get a big boost, but then again, I juice 4 times a day, as I said. So I kind of get that boost up throughout the whole day. If you only juice once a day, you might want to leave some fiber in. Not enough to make it a smoothie, but just enough to help slow the absorption so it's not up and down. So yeah, so anyways, I'll leave it there, and the next time I come back, I'll do a lot more of these videos, and I'll show you some recipes, and I'll show you me juicing and using this machine, and we'll go through that, and I look forward to seeing you again.